Hello there. Good morning. It is Monday, April 12th, 2021. Welcome to Savannah Community Headlines Live, a weekly gathering around the virtual water cooler. I'm Deidre Williams. As you know, my soul call me Franny, and I am your host. I'm the owner and founder of Guided Surrender, which is a lifestyle wellness brand. I'm a wellness guide and a certified yoga instructor, and always here to talk about wellness, joy, and abundance. You can find more information about me at my website at guidedsurrender.com. We have a special edition of Water Cooler for you today and we will be doing this the second Monday of each month. So the second Monday of each month, we've got a special edition of Water Cooler. We will hear from the partners of the CDC and Prevention's Racial and Ethnic Approaches to Community Health Grant. So we are excited to be streaming with various partners. You can find us with the Isle of Hope News, the Hispanic Metropolitan Savannah Chamber of Commerce, Carriage Trade Public Relations, Savannah Community Headlines Live, and Marjorie Young's Facebook page, and Healthy Savannah's Facebook page. And so we stream on all of those platforms. And so when you're sharing or looking for us at 9 a.m. on Mondays, we will be in one of those places. Today's guests are Deidre Grimm and Armand Turner with Healthy Savannah in the YMCA of Coastal Georgia. And please join us next Monday on April 19th. We will have another special edition of Savannah Community Headlines Live, and it'll be hosted by I Volunteer to discuss the nonprofit sector. So tune in for that as well. But before we get started with the beautiful panel today, we do have a few of our amazing community announcements of what's going on in the community, with a special focus on what's going on with the community partners of the Racial and Ethnic Approaches to Community Health Grant. So Step Up Savannah and community partners recently launched the Bridges Beyond Benefits Community Survey to help identify potential gaps in public benefit services. The organization plans to reach a goal of 500 responses with the Savannah and Chatham County area by the end of the month. So we do have that survey link for you, and we do ask that you visit it, that you review it, and that you contribute to that feedback. It's all about trying to find wellness in areas where more assistance can be given and more assistance can be provided. And the more people who give an opinion, the more people can show the need and the desire. And once it's known, it can be met. So please see that link, and it'll come through in the comments, and we'd be happy to have your feedback recorded for the Step Up Savannah team. So thank you. Next, we have Buttercup Needs a Home. We know our partners of the Racial, Ethnic, and Approaches Community Health Grant would be happy to see Coastal Pet Rescue have some of their pets find a home. So today we have Buttercup. She's a sweet cat. And Buttercup is the cat right now that is being featured, but there are many cats in the Coastal Pet Rescue that do need to be rescued. So even though she's missing a part of her tail, Buttercup is not letting that hold her back from being the very best kitten. She loves to play with wand toys and can be found snuggled up in blankets and pillows. She is looking for a forever home that will appreciate her and moxie her sweet spirit. And she's already been spayed and is ready for adoption today. And Buttercup is one of many cats that are ready for you to take home if you are interested and available in having a pet companion in your home. So we did post that link for you to visit and find where you can look at the beautiful array and options for different fur animals and fur companions to have in your home with Coastal Pet Rescue. So save a life. And then lastly, April is National Stress Awareness Month, and Healthy Savannah actually made me aware of that. And so I wanted to share that with all of you and give you a little bit of inspiration as we move through April, as we move through this month, to remember to take your breath breaks. Remember to check in. It's a busy day, and sometimes things, go a little haywire, especially on a Monday morning. So in those moments where you can go outside and get a breath of fresh air, or go for a walk, or just take a moment for yourself, check in, close your eyes, take a deep breath in, breathe out, and just reset and know that you got it. Got it, and you're doing your best, and it's all okay. And then Healthy Savannah also has an amazing series on YouTube with Silver Linings of Stress. Being that it is National Stress Awareness Month, you can watch Dr. and PhD candidate and Healthy Savannah's intern Paige Perry describe the techniques that she developed to combat stress and anxiety she experienced at the beginning of the pandemic. The YouTube link is in the chat for you to see. And if you go there, she talks about meditation, and she plays a beautiful sound bowl. And she talks about how the pandemic allowed her to cope, how to find new ways to cope with anxiety and stress. And how to calm ourselves. And one person's way of finding peace is another person's information for how to find peace. And so do join that and look at that video and comment and send her some love and let her know the different ways that you are finding resolve in your stressful moments, in your stressful days. Comment here and let us know what you're doing to find peace on a stressful month or a stressful day. I know for me, I like to go outside and get some sun. I also like to close my computer and just like take a minute, actually walk away from your computer and have lunch. The world won't end, right? All right, so now it is time for us to welcome our amazing guest that we have today, Deidre Grimm. I always get the gruh. So everybody, let's work on our vocal palette today with our gruh. Deidre Grimm and Armand Turner. Hey, y'all, welcome.
Good morning, Franny. Thank you for having us. And what's funny is that when you were going down the national list, I want to put in plug in there. It's National Garden Month and National Celery Month also. So get your celery sticks with some peanut butter.
Oh, I'm already on it. So I went and bought like 2 packs of celery, and I have a new mission for like the next 30 days. I plan on starting my morning with like celery juice and some like lemon in there and some ginger and just seeing how it affects my life. Yeah, because of the chlorophyll, because it's green, it's so good for the body, and they say it's great for your skin and your energy. So we're synced right now. That's happening. So thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I'm on the right path. Do you drink celery juice ever?
Like you said, I add my ginger, some lemon, and actually, I'm going to tell you because I have to have a little bit of sweet in there. Some green apples is good with it as well. So
yeah, I have a green apple, and you're right. I will cut it up because it has a little bit of a bite. It's a little bit of a bite because everybody's going to go and get their celery juice and be mad at us. So let's just go ahead and be straight. This is celery, and you are juicing it. So just be aware of what that means.
And you know what? When you're done, compost the pulp for your garden. So, hey.
There you go. I love that. My dream is to be able to have a garden outside my house and be able to grow the food that I eat. And so we are one step closer every day, right? One step closer. Big dreams are made in little steps. So thank you for that. I'm happy you gave us that little tidbit. Well, since we're on the topic, you're here today to talk to us about something special, which is the FAN training. So can you tell us what that stands for and what that means for the community and how others can get involved?
Sure. So the University of South Carolina's Arnold School of Public Health created an initiative called FAN. It stands for Faith, Activity, and Nutrition. So they want you to be a fan of your health. And what it does is work with faith-based organizations to implement and create policies within their faith-based organizations to implement healthier eating options, physical activity breaks. And it also creates a community around looking at what are the areas where you can improve your health. So locally, we've been blessed to have at least, I think we have about 10 faith-based organizations that have gone through the training and implemented these trainings to create a culture of health in their community. So we're very pleased. It's been very successful. One organization actually even started an exercise room at their church. And want everyone to know that this is not limited to just churches, mosques, any faith. You are very welcome to come and join us in this on this tour of being a fan of your health.
Oh, I love that. I love that the acronym is "Be a Fan of Your Health," and how fun the play on words. Okay, and so specifically for an individual out there who would be interested in participating, how can they get involved?
Sure. There's a sign-up sheet on the website, on the link. I believe Carol, I believe we have the link, but there's an interest sheet. And also the next training begins in May, but they also said that they're still able to take new organizations. So if they want to sign up, they can reach me at Deidre@healthysavannah.org, or just click the link, learn more about the organization and what it is to do. And what I love, since COVID has come upon us, everything is virtual now.
Yeah.
So these are modules, so you can go at your own pace. So it's no pressure to sit in a space for 4 hours to get it done, and they continue to follow you. And so we as an organization also partner with them. And so if you are in Savannah and you decide to sign up, just say, hey, I'm one of the Healthy Savannah organizations, and we follow you throughout that. We support you however we can. Armand will come out and do exercise trainings there, and we have some great snacks and tools to help. I'm ready to get back into the spaces physically because it's a little bit different, but it's we provide recipes. We've also partnered with the farm truck to come to the organizations to pass out produce, and so it's just a great all-around program. And so like I was saying, the next one starts in May, but you have an entrance eval just to see where you are. So it's no right or wrong answer. It's no judgment. We just want to get a baseline of where you are and how we can take you to the next level.
She says you guys are awesome. They are. The whole team. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, those trainings are super fun, though. I don't think Deidre can stress that enough. When you hear the word training, you think it'll be sort of tedious and maybe a little boring, but that's not the case. We have a ton of fun in those trainings.
I'm just picturing a party. We just happen to be learning, but it's a party. We're having a good time. We're eating good stuff. We're learning good things, and we're being giving. And then it's like when you're doing it from a place of passion, it doesn't feel like work.
No,
it feels like purpose, right? And when we're operating in our purpose, we find ourselves to have the most joy. And so it's like it comes from such a deep place.
And we have a lot of aha moments, like little switches that people didn't, necessarily think of, like instead of, the traditional fried chicken, looking at how you can change that recipe to oven fried chicken, and so it's just really what we want to do. And I tell everybody is just change our relationship with food,
Yeah. I think there's a stigma that healthy food has to be nasty. Not necessarily.
No.
Yeah, we've seen depictions of it just looking like, people say all the time to me, rabbit food. I'm like, well, some of it looks like rabbit food, but there's a lot of dishes that are really flavorful and good and delicious that absolutely still fill all the needs for our cultural needs, for all of our palatal needs, for all of our taste buds. And so I think that's really awesome to show. Hello, sweet. It's really awesome to show the different ways that we can eat healthy and still enjoy what we eat. Eating can be fun, and eating healthy can be fun. And so I love that. I love that you said there's a fried chicken recipe. It's all good. I love this right now. Deidre's, we're hearing her life in the back. This is a live show. And I hope you're at home living your life, and you're probably shushing somebody in your back to your dog maybe bothering you to go to the bathroom. Is part of the process. And that is the beauty that the pandemic did bring, is that we were able to find more collectivity in these spaces and just normalize being human again, normalize our lives and our families. You're on mute, I think. Oh, no, you're back.
One thing. So just out of all of that, it wasn't even just me taking on the role of, working with my family to eat healthier, right? It was at the time he was 13, my 13-year-old would get up and go in the kitchen and cook millet. And I'm like, right. So it's like, instead of eating, well, we don't eat white rice in this house. I just have an aversion to it. So it doesn't work for me. But he wanted to learn more about quinoa and millet and amaranth, and so I think you just if you just give the tools to our next generation, they will take it and run with it to the point where I really don't have to cook before going out of town. I used to joke with Armand when we would have to go out of town for work, but I would have to make these big casseroles or something before I go. I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So parents, if you want to, make sure your kids eat healthy, bring them along for the training, and they will take these tools and run with it.
Yeah. And I think that brings so much more peace. I always say to my friends, they look at me like I'm crazy, but I'm like, I don't want to be responsible for making sure these people eat all day, for the rest of their lives. I am not signing up for that. So let's get the tools that we need so that we can all know how to eat healthy. And the moment that they can start preparing food for themselves, allow them to. And I love that you're talking about millet and quinoa. And there's so many different grains that are whole foods. They come naturally from the earth that way, and we can eat them directly. Rice is not one of those things. It is modified in certain forms, and anything that's white is also bleached and modified. And so when we talk about eating natural grains and directly plant derived, which are your quinoa, which are your millet, buckwheat, things like that. Even wild rice, which is actually grass. It's cut, but it actually grows from the earth like grass, and it's cut to look like rice. And so eating those type of grains is a whole food and typically has more nutritional impact. And so if you can make any tiny switches in your home from rice or white rice to one of those things, it's one step at a time. I'm happy you said that. I learned that recently too, and it's been a new journey.
So I'm gonna give someone some hope real quick, and then I'm gonna let Armand please take it away with his information. So at one point in time, I used to be over 300 pounds, and I could not run behind my kids. This was before this young lady came along. And so just making those little changes, those little subtle changes in our diet, instead of eating canned peaches, getting one with whole 100% fruit juice, or getting the frozen ones out of the section, because as a mom, I'm on the go. I understand, the need to make something quick and fast. And I'm not telling anybody to do this, but I invested in a Ninja Foodie, right? And so I could sit up here and throw everything in a pot and keep it moving, and it cooks for me. And so just making small changes, instead of, like deep frying French fries, cut up some potatoes and put them in an air fryer. I've seen air fryers as cheap as $20. So
$25.
Yeah, right. So, it's just making changes, because even during the pandemic, I think a lot of us gained the COVID-19, me included. And, I couldn't live with myself. And so my youngest son, he said, Mom, we have to make some changes. And so within the last month or so, he shed about 28 pounds, just making those subtle changes. And I will say, I'm jealous of men because they lose weight faster than we do.
Completely different. I know. It's the hormones. It's not fair. I'm just going to put that out there. I love that the same amount of physical activity you do has half the amount of ability to make an impact on my body, but that's fine. It's all good. We're all getting there.
But that segue goes into Armand, and to talk about some of the work that he's doing in the physical activity space as well.
Yes. Thank you so much, Deidre, for sharing that tidbit of information. I just want to post one more time for you all the fan flyer that is going around. So if you see this is what you know about the training to get more information, and just to throw up that link for you one more time. And so if you would like to sign up, this is where you would go. And of course, you can reach out to Deidre and Healthy Savannah for information. It's all about having the knowledge and the education to be able to be the change. And so thank you so much for that, Deidre. And we will continue and speak with Armand now. Hello, Armand. You're here to tell us about something new that's happening, which is bus cards that now have the map and the information about nutritional destinations around Savannah and Chatham County.
It's really cool. So Deidre one of the things that Deidre focuses on with the racial and ethnic approaches to community health grant is the nutrition side. And I sort of focus on the physical activity side, amongst other things. And so this is a great example of those roads really crossing and being able to help each other out, and then help the public out. So what the bus cards are is basically these cards that we've collaborated with Chatham Area Transit to put on all 62 of their buses. And so they're both in English, and then we also have some in Spanish. And basically the cards have a QR code. So you just hold your phone up and point it at the QR code, and they'll take you to a web page that includes all of the nutritional destinations that we've basically been working with the racial and ethnic approaches to community health grant. So there's about 18 different nutrition locations. We have our Fresh Express locations on there. Of course, Fresh Express gives you no-cost fresh fruit and vegetables at 2 different locations. They do that every third Friday. Then we have the Farm Truck 912 locations. which of course sells fresh fruit and vegetables. And they also take SNAP benefits and they work double there. So we have all of those locations listed. And then we have our corner store initiative locations, which are these corner stores that we work with to help bolster their healthy food, healthy fruit and nutrition choices that they give out to the public. And they've been great partners with us. And so all of those are listed. And as soon as you hit that QR code, you go to their webpage, you can learn more about each one of those initiatives, and you can see where those locations are while you're on the bus. So I think it's a great way to reach out to the public and meet them where they are.
Completely agree. And I think that that's the importance in the situation. It's talking about meeting people where they are and allowing you to receive whatever you need from a state of where you are in that, or whatever you would like supplied, or whatever you want, or whatever you want to give in a state where you're able to actually be giving and to be receptive to it. So this is a way that basically bridges gaps and just allows it to be easier for you to get what you need. And so that's
exactly
being able to take advantage of the bus cards. Have you been able to see this make an impact on anyone in the community at this time, just having this resource so accessible in your hand? And is there another way to view these things without the QR code?
Yeah, so we've got the link, and we'll promote the link through all of our social media and stuff like that. It's still relatively new though, but we do have a way of tracking how many people are accessing the site through this QR code. And so we're going to keep tracking and keep looking on ways to improve and make it easier. One of the things we've already changed is, of course, we have Spanish versions of these bus cards, but now we also have a completely Spanish version of the link. So as soon as you go to the link, if you want to switch it over to a Spanish version to make it easier for you to read, then you just click one easy button that's right there as soon as you go to the page. So we're continuously looking at ways to improve it and make it easier for anybody who's using it.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Armand. I think that the small changes and the small steps that we take daily are what make the big impact. And I think that's what Healthy Savannah is all about.
Yep. And I just imagine somebody on the bus and they see this big sign with these cute little kids on it, and they hit the QR code and they're just shocked at how much is actually out there, how many resources is out there that can help them or their family. So I'm excited about it, and I hope people use it.
I hope so too. And again, and I think that's the silver lining of it, is if you knew about it, you would use it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just sometimes you just don't always know about it. And word of mouth is another beautiful way to hear about these things. This is why we do this show here, which is why Armand is out in the community, Deidre's out in the community, the whole Healthy Savannah team is out in the community and sharing information so that we can create positive buzz and positive word of mouth so that the information can get to more people. So with each thing that we talk about, with each new topic, with each new guest that comes on, with each new piece of information that you hear, please do share it with another. And so that bridge gets even bigger and that we can have it reach more people, and that information is out there because the resources are here, but if no one knows about them, they won't use them. Right? Do you have any tips for how people can continue to spread this information?
What would be cool if you're on a Chatham area transit bus and you see our sign, just take a picture of it, send it to us, and we'll repost it. And keep spreading the word. I hope everyone gets to see these cool signs. So
I hope so too. They deserve to be seen. It's something that would be awesome to display. And so I totally agree with you. I'm so happy that you were able to come on today, Armand. I'm happy that we were able to have Deidre on today. I do want to say, in our health journey, and we're all in our own spaces, right? We're all in our own place in our health journey. And, to one person, it might be doing it this way. And to another person, it might be doing it this way. And I just want to encourage everybody where they are in their journey. I know where I'm at in my health journey. It took me years to get to this point where, where what I consume is completely different and what I have in my daily life. I was telling you about how I use physical activity now to heat my body up and wake me up in the morning versus, consuming, coffee or turn up the heat more, just like putting heat in my body. And that's something that I developed over time that works for me as a tool. What works for the community and what works for you and what works for your family is different and or could be the same. And I think as we share this information about how to be healthy in one way, it doesn't negate another way. We're all doing what we deserve and what we need to be healthy with where we are right now in our beautiful lives. And the more information that we have to support the desire to live a healthy and full life, the better. And so it's about spreading the information so that it can be used. And I think people sometimes get discouraged if they're trying to make healthier choices and add physical activity in their life or get healthy foods. It becomes discouraging sometimes when the initiative is all about go straight into doing this or don't do this or do that. And it's more so about being a voice of what you can do. And I think Deidre spoke so well to that about the small changes and talking about you and how you activate physical fitness wherever there's an event and wherever we go. And that can be through dancing, and that can be just going for just a walk.
The last fan training I attended, we hula hooped. Michelle,
I love that.
I love that. We hula hooped, and that's something everybody's used to doing as a child. So, it's all the same journey, just different routes to get there. And what may be working for you may not work for someone else, but as long as you're making those steady, consistent steps to improve you and your family's life, then nobody can be mad at that.
Exactly. And I think it's one day at a time, y'all. It's one day at a time. And so sending love to the community, sending love to everyone listening. Thank you for joining us today. And let's just have a quick roundup. It is April is Stress Awareness Month. Any tips for how to stay stress-free and how to stay grounded from anybody?
Definitely catch some of the sunshine while it's out here.
Yes.
Definitely go outside, go for some walks. I like to I listen to classical music. People laugh at that, but I do listen to classical music. So when I'm out walking my dog, I'm listening to that and really helps me decompress. So that's one of the things I do.
Cool. And I know Deidre is here and she is having a busy morning. And so if we can hear it. Oh, there she is. Okay. We can hear you now, Deidre.
No, so I would also suggest, perfect. What I would suggest, like Armand stated, going for a walk, but just taking and investing in self-care, right? Sometimes we may not be able to go to a therapist, but if you just have that safe place where you can vent and talk about yourself, that is just, very valuable. COVID has been, created these instances where we feel lonely. But even if you just need someone to talk to, send me an email. I'm here if you just need to vent, because I know how life can be very hectic. As y'all can hear, I'm on the move now, taking one child to the doctor, leaving off of one screen on the show. So I just want to just continue to underscore that, reach out to someone. There are plenty of free options in the community for, therapy and counseling. And so one great resource is Gateway Behavioral, as well as Georgia Outreach. And I'll tell you, I am not ashamed to say I do talk to a therapist because life is real. And it's also very valuable. So if you, one more thing, if you need help finding, a resource as far as, counseling or therapy, we do have the Hero Help Me database. And that if you just Google Hero Help Me, it'll pop up. It is a joint venture between our organizations and St. Joseph Candler, and they'll help you find the resources in the community. So just take your self-care to another level during this time.
Exactly. And I have that up right now for everyone to see. It's at herohelpme.com. There's a plethora of resources for the Savannah Chatham County community as far as food support, child support, health and wellness. You can even go there for any COVID preventative information or vaccine information. So please do use that link, herohelpme.com, finding a therapist, finding ways to take care of yourself. And I'd like to just second that point, or third that point to Armand and Deidre. Take care of yourself and do your best to do that. Take your moments away from it all, where you just take a deep breath and recenter, knowing that you are doing the best that you can. You are where you are. And each day is a new day to recommit to your plan, to find joy, to find peace, to find happiness and health in your heart and in your life. And that is a daily journey. And we all reset it each day that we wake up and get another chance to breathe. So with that, I would like to thank you all for joining us today for this special edition of Savannah Community Headlines Live with our partners at the Racial and Ethnic Approaches to Community Health Grant. We had our amazing Armand Turner here to talk to us. about these wonderful bus cards that all of you can now see when you are on the buses. There's this QR code that you'll see in the middle there that you can scan, and it'll give you more information about these destinations. And it is also in Spanish. And now there is a link so that you can also access this information in Spanish, which is, we're so grateful to see that. So thank you so much, Armand, for that.
Thanks for having me. I love coming on water cooler. I love our conversation.
I love our conversations too. Thank you so much. And then we have Deidre, who shared with us about the amazing fan training. Please get involved with that. We'd love to see you participate. Apparently it's a really good time, and so I'd like to be there for that too. The link to get involved is below. You can copy that, and even just typing the first few words into your browser, it should populate. Get signed up and join the team and be a part of the change. And so with that, I want to thank you all for joining me today. Let me move that out of your beautiful faces. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining us today. Continue to comment and let us know how this affected you. If you want to sign up for fan training, if you want more information, we can be happy to connect you, and let us know how you're staying stress-free or working on managing your stress in a healthy way this month. With all the love in my heart, I am Franny Williams, Brandeja Williams, as you know my soul, call me Franny, and I thank you. Have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week. Create a good week, and we will be back the second Monday of each month for our talks with our racial and ethnic approaches to community health partners. And then we also have another amazing show that will happen next Monday with I Volunteer to speak with the nonprofit sector. So tune in for that. Everybody, have a great day. Bye-bye.
See you guys.